Well, morning pill of zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Yeah, I know it's not on the cell phone. The laptop camera right now, trying to get this thing going. Yeah, it's about 15 after 8 in the morning, West Coast time, 21st of June, 2026. Shout out to all those fathers out there. It's happy Father's Day. For those who still have a father that they still give a care about, and the fathers actually care about them. And for those who've actually departed a while ago. Politics this morning, guys. Trump's going after people stealing from the reflective pool. You already heard it's old news, right? How'd you like to go over to the reflective pool? Lincoln's reflective pool is right in front of this memorial up to the side. And yeah, for a long while it's been algae. They had ducks swimming in there. Didn't bother them a bit. Had life in there. But the president, or presidential gas bag, wanted red, white, and blue before July 4th. He wanted the whole thing be blue. Drain the water, clean it up, replace tiles, have a no bid company going in to do the job. Spend taxpayer money on it. So whatever kind of poor job they did on it ended up worse. And they were doing it during the heat. If they had did it about maybe in the springtime, instead of closer to July 4th, they wouldn't have to deal with heat and humidity. What do bacteria love? Especially when you're dealing with algae and you're dealing with mold and mildew. Warm, dark, maybe some light sometimes. Give it enough energy, it'll grow, spread, mutate. Give people respiratory issues. In mind. Anyway, didn't work out when the water was placed. Tiles cracking, peeling off. And what was supposed to be a blue bottom didn't show up to be a blue bottom, but green algae spreading like mad. Of course, they can't stand oxygenated water. They have to suffocate it out of there. So if you actually had any fish in there, fish actually live on oxygen, but through the water. Thing is, you suck it out, there'll be no fish in there. But there's never been any fish in there. But there's been local life swimming in the damn thing. Just trying to cool off before they go somewhere else. But the water looks so damn bad, Trump's freaking out and blaming Democrats. Of course, in order to get rid of the algae, he decides to get his crew out there to dump in hydrogen peroxide. You ever had hydrogen peroxide in your eardrum? It bubbles. It tickles. It's processed in a way where that stuff is bubbling out anything. Sometimes it's used for different purposes. I have researched it. But the only thing I know about hydrogen peroxide is when the doctors are using it to clear up my eardrums. Squirt this stuff in there. I'll let it swish in there for a little bit and then coming out. Give me medicated drops out there to get rid of excessive earwax buildup, and then you have to use hydrogen peroxide to bubble it out of there and then get the warm water whoosh. Use a special syringe to force out the water. Of course, the bulbous ones, sometimes they work. But any others are just using the specialized modified tip on some of the syringes, and they get the warm water and swish it out. Whatever's in there. Kind of a weird ass feeling. But it bubbles. That kind of bubbling effect did something to the tiles. Because for the past week they kept bitching and griping about how the reflective pool looked green, but also falling to pieces. Pieces of the tile that was used. Not the old tile, but the new tile that was put in there. Bubbling up. So naturally visitors and tourists are going to be looking at the thing saying, oh wow, look at that, ain't that nice? Let's have it for a souvenir. And then you would have plainclothes agents, or maybe uniformed agents, maybe both, going out and arresting people, claiming that they had damaged the reflective pool. They were damaged federal property. How does that work? In a reflective pool, you see pieces floating up or sticking up. Now, if you're probably civic-minded and saying, let me stay away from this thing as much as possible, that would have been nice. The curiosity getting the better of us, we have to have a swipe. We got to see what it is. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were trying to do selfies. That would have been acceptable. You weren't damaging anything. But no, once you stick your hand in the pool, it's like, ah! Get them arrested! They're terrorists! They're domestic international terrorists! They're destroying federal property! Charge them with being! Of course, they could have been fined. Still, they're going over to the process, see whether or not they're going to get deported or not. If they're homegrown, well, maybe they get deported by ICE. I wouldn't put it past the Trump regime at this point. And Trump's going apeshit over this one, blaming people and blaming the Democrats for ruining his stuff. And he already did. And he doesn't want to admit it in public. No. He tried to do his big, beautiful ballroom. He's still trying to sell that shit, and it's not working. Congress is shutting him down. The public's after his ass. So, yeah, he lives in that fight right there. He still want to get his government hospital underneath that protects his ass just in case. Well, in that essence, I would say, okay, fine. You're going to be using tax dollars to protect the president once this guy departs one way or another. And if we still have an operational center up down there, okay, I understand taxpayer money being used for that. Okay, no problem about it. What I do have a problem with, you're getting arrested for pieces coming up from the reflective pool. Better yet, we've got veterans groups still trying to sue the Trump regime of not putting up an arch and having Trump's name all over the damn place. One court had already ruled against Trump regarding the name change on the Kennedy Center, and Trump just decided he's going to keep cloth all over the place where it says the Kennedy Center, John F. Kennedy Center, because Trump's name's on it, but Trump's name was removed by court order, so nobody will be able to benefit. It's damaged, so they're going to repair a crew on it and make it nice. But he wanted to get renovations on it. Screw that up. Not going to happen. Not even by the Lynch gang that he hired to replace the former Kennedy group that was running the place. And you need Congress to make the changes. Well, since Congress is already in the flux right now, what else we're going to say or do about it? Tell me about that. What else is he trying to do except make war, not love, in a way? He's still got a problem with the Iranians. He wants to deal, but if we can't get that damn deal, he's going to war again. kept hearing that the strait is closed, but he keeps claiming through his surrogates it's still open. And he's going to charge. He's going to charge a toll. And if he doesn't, he's going to bomb. He said it, not me. Right now, in the subcommittees, they're still trying to argue over SNAP benefits, whether or not we're actually going to get them or not. Me, I'm still disabled. There's no way to get past the damn bad back or nightmares. And my body's still baldering on me. So I got it. I still got the SNAP, but the thing is, I only get $20. See, there's something about SNAP out here in California that's also related to the bed. There's dollar limits until they change that rule around. For me, because of what I get from Social Security, it limits to how much I get in SNAP benefits. The more you get in Social Security, the less you get. Once I reach that threshold, and this is my cost of living adjustment, then I will be living entirely on SNAP, not on SNAP, but on Social Security. Is it comfortable right now? Nope. Manageable, barely, but it works. And I have to make sure that everything else I use for it works. I'm seeing that people are still reporting that different states that we have, different red states and a few blue states, are getting more and more less participation in SNAP. Bunch of red states, huh? But everybody else don't. It screws. Food banks are getting trounced on this one. And the needs becoming more and more. I haven't seen it in my town affecting us a great deal except for the prices that we've got in our local store, Albertsons, going up. We got a grocery outlet. I'm seriously thinking of going to try at least 1 or 2 trips with them and see if I can do a cost comparison between that and Albertsons I do shopping with. On the personal front, tomorrow is foot day. And I know I'm still thinking about it. Nothing else I can do. So I've got a few things to take care of in the household before that. Let's clean up the damn tub again. Or shower gets in. I have to keep doing this, otherwise. I want that shower so I can get my foot cleaned. Both. Not to mention the rest of the body. I'm just nervous about what's going to happen next. My dog's been sleeping for a while. Took long enough. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, she finally settles down, and I can barely get about an hour or two. Still listening to her yelping in the middle of the night. And nightmares. After that, some nights are like that. She's still sleeping heavily by 3 or 4 or 5 hours. I guess me 3 or 4 hours of just breathing right now and trying not to panic for tomorrow. I've said so many things about the foot debridement, digging out the old flesh to allow new flesh to grow. I hadn't seen it in about a month. I've been running ragged all month. For the days I feel like I need to get myself going, I go to bed again because I'm stressed out that badly, not getting enough sleep. And it sucks, and it hurts, and it's driving me nuts. What else can I say? That being said, for right now,